let's go to Kenny Rhoda on this too, because Kenny, I want to hear your reaction. I'll tell this to you first. When it comes to Chud yesterday, he was upset after the game. It was good to see. He was unbelievably disappointed by the actions of his players yesterday. They have checked out, and that's the way they played yesterday. If you check out against the Steelers, you are going to get hurt next week. Guarantee it. That is a guarantee.
Guarantee. No doubt. No doubt about it. You cannot let up against the Steelers.
All right, Kenny, what do you got? What do you think?
Well, I think people look around the league and they see all these other coaches, and they're fiery. They show their emotions. You look at the Harbaugh brothers and what you see out of them every week. Mike Tomlin with the Steelers, Rex Ryan. They're sticking up for their players, it looks like, even more by challenging the officials and reacting the way they do. And there's Chud with that poker face look yesterday. And yes, he probably was burning up inside, but he didn't show the emotion until after the game. And I think the fans look at that and they like Chud. They're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's his first year. But, where's the emotion? Where's the passion? Let it out. But some coaches just aren't like that, guys. They like to keep it close to the vest, so you don't know when they're upset. You don't know when they're happy, and they're just cool, calm, and collective throughout. And that seems to be the way Chud is. We'll see if that changes as he moves forward as the Browns head coach. But, the players yesterday, boy, after that 10-0 lead, they really did check out, being outscored 24-3 after that point. And, guys, I did the math. For the last 4 games in the fourth quarter, Browns have been outscored in the fourth quarter 63-24 in the fourth quarter of the last 4 games, and they led 3 of those games and were tied yesterday going into the fourth quarter.
Look, here's the other thing about Chud, and you tell me if you agree with this or not, Kenny. It's real easy for him yesterday to say, this is all on me. I'm the head coach. You know what? It all comes back on me. This is unacceptable, blah, 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 blah. He is not one of the 6 or 7 head coaches coming into next year that's on the hot seat. He may be in the middle of next year, but going into the offseason, there's no way he's on the hot seat. And this is probably the only time in his career that he's truly going to be able to say, you know what, this is all on me. It's unacceptable. This isn't right. We're going to get this fixed. But guess what? He's not on the hot seat.
He's not, and he's got that hall pass, if you will, the honeymoon. It's coming to an end because going into next season, everybody's going to be expecting more from Chud. But again, this is his first time ever. We have to remember this. I know we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I think, Mike, you said you disagreed with me because we're 15 games into the season. But still, these are the first times he's been experiencing these type of situations, these emotions, and how are you supposed to react as a head coach? And I think he's thinking too much. Like we hear players say, well, we're not just reacting, we're not just playing out there, we're thinking too much. Chud might be thinking too much about, okay, should I do this? Should I not do this? Is it appropriate to act this way or not, instead of just letting it out? And we'll see next week because it's the last game of the season. Guys are going to be playing for jobs next year on the team while Chud has his job. And it's the rivalry game against the Steelers, although they've dominated over the last 30 games, winning 25 out of 30. It's still a rivalry week. We'll see which players will show up and perform because, like you guys said, if they mail it in next week as the Steelers are still playing for a playoff spot, some guys are going to get hurt.
Yeah, and Kenny, great points as always, too. And the only reason why I disagree with you when you brought it up is because I think I saw a stat yesterday of the 8 new head coaches. The Browns have finished 8 in those teams. If there's 7 new head coaches that had better years than Coach Chud. So in some ways you can almost make the same argument. Why did those 7 coaches, and we can almost argue staffs too, that Chud going in maybe had the best staff of all the 8 new staffs going in. Would you disagree with that? So he should have had a little more help.
Remember, Bruce Arians was a head coach last year as an interim with the Indianapolis Colts, so this wasn't his first ever head coaching job. Andy Reid was a head coach before as he took over Kansas City. Chip Kelly, while it wasn't in the NFL, was a head coach in college and was very successful. These guys have had the experiences of game day preparations as a head coach, not that guy just calling the offensive plays. They've been in charge of the entire team, and I think we're seeing that experience with those former head coaches that are first-year head coaches this year and the jobs that they've done. Guys, first-year turnarounds. Arizona, 5-11 last year, 10-5 this year under Bruce Arians.
But
Kansas
Bruce
City,
Arians,
2-14 last year.
Kenny,
they're now 11-4 under Andy Reid. And you look at Philadelphia, last year 4-12, 9-6 under Chip Kelly.
Kenny, Bruce Arians couldn't even get an interview here.
That blows
That
my
is
mind.
ridiculous.
It really does. After what he did for the Indianapolis Colts in the situation they were in last year, and the fact that he was with the Steelers and the quarterbacks that he's developed over the years, I didn't understand that. And I have some ties to Bruce and his agent and everything like that, and they were surprised as well.
All right, Kenny, we're going to get back to you in a little bit. Thank you. We'll talk to you in a couple minutes. Thanks. All right, Eric, I got to ask you a question here. Eric, do you want to go phone line or you want to go, oh, look who's there? Angry Browns fan.
He's got to pay me $10. $10.
How did you get here so early?
This guy,
I don't sleep.
this guy gets on NFL Network, and then his price keeps going up.
Yeah.
All right, Eric,
$10.
you got your choice. Now, three-way deal here. We can go to Justin from Brooklyn. We can go to the Tubby Dog or Dog Tubby, or we can talk
Let's
to
do a Browns backer
Angry
rant
Brown.
first.
Where do you want to go?
Browns backer.
Browns backer. Tubby, hang on a second. I see you. By the way, Tubby, why don't you show everybody what you were doing there while we weren't watching? Yeah, thanks. This is how things work. Brushing your teeth. Thanks.
Award today.
What
Mike
is it?
Karen's his little jerk.
He's brushing his teeth, you pervert.
I thought he was
Eric,
jerking.
what are you
Yeah,
doing?
where are we going in this show?
Well, and by the way,
That's a whole different website if you want that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
can I just say this? Angry Browns fan and
Yes.
Mike, what's up with the wardrobe? Are you guys like Run DMC or what?
No, it's sponsored by Adidas.
You guys are?
Wait,
Yeah. I got
Wait,
this
hang
deal
on.
last week.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Just,
Hey, Justin from the Brooklyn Browns backers, I know you're on the line. Hang on. Hi, Justin. How are you? Hi, Justin.
Hey, you hear me?
we shop at the same
Yeah,
place.
we can hear you. Look at
It's
these
that
guys.
scene in Beetlejuice.
These guys.
Yeah,
you know
sorry
what?
about that. I'm having a hard time because I dropped the phone. Insert joke.
We hear you. We hear
I
you.
started
Yeah.
yelling.
That's all right. Greg Little dropped a touchdown pass.
Justin, what did you think of yesterday's game? Did you go to the game first of all?
No, I was on my couch. It was aired locally because it's the Jets game. So
All right, hang on. So you've got the 60-second rant today, Eric. Is that right? Yeah. All right, let's put him on the clock. You'll have 60 seconds to talk about yesterday's game. Eric, you got the clock? Or do I need to do that? I got the clock. There's the clock. Eric, I don't know if you, or Justin, I don't know if you've noticed this, but this is our high-tech clock that only we can afford by going to timer.onlineclock.net.
Yeah, look at that. So
And we
beautiful.
figured we may as well give them a plug, considering we can't afford a clock on the show.
By ADT.
Sponsored by ADT, too, all their sponsors. All right, Justin, you now have 60 seconds to go off on the Cleveland Browns in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
all right, Cleveland Browns fans. Greg Little dropping balls. Josh Gordon dropping balls. Getting rid of Bobby Rainey and watching him go to Tampa Bay and succeed as a running back. Oh, Lord. And next year's draft, I want to lose every game because I'm shooting for the NFL draft. The higher the pick, the better. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm absolutely confused. And seeing Brian Hoyer stand there on the sideline with a busted ACL, I don't know what to do anymore about it. But, hell, we got 10 picks next year, and, God, are we going to draft Brandon Weeden again? I don't know. I don't know.
All right, 13 seconds.
confused
Anything else?
about
Go ahead,
that.
swear, blurt it out, whatever you want. 10 seconds.
This is actually really easy. And then just sitting there thinking about Willis McGahee saying he wants to play another few more years. I don't understand what the hell the guy's talking about.
We don't know either. All right, listen, the best part of your phone call, Justin, I got to tell you, first of all, you won a T-shirt, so thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Nice job.
Thanks
nice
for-
job on the rant.
It's the Brooklyn way to say balls. It's the way you said balls in the beginning, the way they were dropping balls. Are you from Cleveland or are you from Brooklyn originally?
I'm actually originally from Brooklyn.
You are. How did you become a Browns fan in the first place?
My father was born in Toledo, Ohio, and he raised me with this curse.
Home of Coach Chud, baby.
We know it. Hey, Justin, you got to be tough to live in Brooklyn. You got to be tougher to be a Browns fan in Brooklyn. So we applaud you and thank you for being part of the show.
Hey, thanks, guys.
All right, we'll make sure we get you a Dogs on the Run T-shirt too. Okay?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
thank
Justin.
you.
Nice job, Justin. That's the way you do it. You get 60 seconds on the clock, and then we get going there.
Basketball.
It's all about the balls, something like that. All right, let's go to the I want to get to Angry Browns fan in a second. We'll play another one of his videos. I do want to go to the dog Tubby, though. And what did you think yesterday? On the Wayside Furniture Skype line. Hi, Tubby.
What's up, fellas?
What'd you think?
Some bullshit.
Yeah? How come?
I mean, it just sucked. I mean, what more do you want? A typical Browns.
Hang
It
on,
was like,
Eric, I can't hear you while you're... What? Go ahead.
I want to point out that Tubby was smoking a cigarette while he was waiting.
He was smoking and drinking like a 1 liter of Pepsi. Pick up the liter of cola. There you go.
Oh, my.
Hey, you know what? I got to work the sponsorship in. I don't got the big budget like you guys.
Yeah.
So, I'm bucking for a Newport and a Pepsi sponsorship.
Have you
we're a
seen
little
our
bit dirty.
clock?
What more do you want?
We have to get our clock from the internet. That's how lame we are.
It's pretty bad.
I know, but you guys got a set. You got big screen TVs. You got like a TriCaster and some other bullshit.
Wow,
I got a
listen
webcam.
Well, that's pretty
And-
much what we are at this point, too.
Pretty
Just-
much.
Let's be honest. I
Yeah.
mean, John does a great job over there, but I mean, seriously, we're not much more than that. What was I going to say? I forgot.
I
Tell me.
have no idea.
I don't know either. Anyways, go ahead. Continue your rant.
All right, yeah. So it just sucked, and you know what? For as bad as Chud is not that bad. All right. First of all, you got to realize that he's got Joe Banner and Lombardi all up in his shit, trying to control his roster. He's tried to put out the best he can. Players fail to execute. They don't show up as advertised. And what the hell do you want the guy to do? You trade his star running back that we all know wasn't really a star anyway, and then expect him to go out and win and do all this stuff. Screw him. He gets a pass this year. I don't care. If the Cavs can rehire Mike frickin' Brown and expect us to swallow that bullshit, then we can give Chud a pass this year.
Hey, Tubby,
least this year.
Here's my concern. I'm going to bring this up with Kenny Rhoda, too, in a second here, and everybody else. Jimmy Haslam, what are your fears, what are your worries, and what is your initial thought of Jimmy Haslam on this season?
That he has to sell the team because he gets bankrupt, because he has to pay everybody off.
That's your worry?
About it.
Okay. Would you
Other
be
than that, I
concerned
think
if he
he's
gets
fine.
indicted?
I mean, he's not supposed to. The only thing I'd like to see is Lombardi and Banner. I want them on camera, have a press conference this week or next Monday morning. They better show their Weasley little asses and explain exactly what the fuck went on with this goddamn roster. And that's it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's never going to happen between those two guys. It's just never going to happen because that admits failure, Tubby. And I can almost tell you the press conference and how it would go. They can't plan on injuries. They can't plan on players underperforming, no matter what grades they gave them or how important they thought they'd be. Like trades. I tell you what, the best pickup they made wasn't even by Banner and Lombardi. It was Norv Turner suggesting that Edwin Baker should be picked up because the running backs were so terrible. I think every time I see that kid touch the football, you can see he's got fresh legs. You can see he's got some speed. And the funny thing is, he won't even be with the team probably next year.
Yeah, I mean, I like him to stay. I'd like our running back room to look like Edwin Baker, Dion Lewis, and Carlos Hyde. I'd like to pick him up in the late second round. And then I'd like to keep Obi as fullback or as a fourth running back. But other than that, I really don't care. McGahee wants 4 more years. Yeah, I want to lose like 30 more pounds. Keep dreaming, pal. Fuck him. So that's all I got.
That's awesome.
I don't know. And then Little needs to go. Bess, thanks for coming out.
Hey, can you help me?
Here's
Did you
rest of
see
your
the picture?
contract,
Did you see the Instagram picture?
Yeah, I did.
True or false? Blunt or no?
Knowing the backstory now that I didn't know when I first seen the picture, yeah, probably a blunt.
Okay, just curious. I have no background in bluntese, so
No,
I wasn't sure. The first thing I thought was,
I mean, you could tell they freaked it.
well, somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, I think he's smoking a joint in this thing," and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if that's. It looked like a cigar to me, but then
I
A
was told it
joint
was a
is with
certain kind of
cigarette
cigar.
paper. It's
I was
white
told it was a
paper.
certain
A
kind of
blunt
cigar.
is with
It
cigar
was a
paper.
cigar.
You
Was it a
gotta
true
crack
cigar?
it.
Yes,
There's like
it
a
was a
method.
true
You
cigar,
crack
but it
down
was
the
a
center
certain
of
kind
it,
of
take out all the
cigar,
tobacco,
and
then
the
you
name
put your weed
escapes me,
in,
but I
and
was
then you
told it was a
re-roll it,
certain
and
kind
then
of cigar.
you're good.
I have no idea what you just told us, but I have a feeling that you just explained how to smoke marijuana to us.
Pretty much. That's
Okay,
what I
thank
did.
you.
But only do that in Colorado or California if you have a medical marijuana card.
Thank you. That's
Thank
why
you.
you are who you are. Give us a little tubby dance out.
No, I'm not dancing, but I did bring my friend to dance. Wait, if I can get him to go. Watch, it won't go now.
Those are lights on his face there, Eric, the referee. Tubby, outstanding. One more week with us, my friend. Thank you. Ooh, watch your face.
Oh, wait, watch out for that. Oh, he's slapping him in the face.
What's Homer Simpson think of that, I wonder? Let's find out, and we'll get the answer.
Hey, Mark, what's this attitude? Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the day. Oh, what fun it is to ride, singing Polly Polly through all day. Jingle bells, jingle all the day. Oh, what fun it is to ride, through Santa Claus. Good.
Well done. Well done.
Best part of the show.
All right, what are your thoughts on Jimmy Haslam, Kenny? Because I'm concerned.
Well, let me first say this. If Tubby didn't Skype in and he telephoned in, would we be referring to him as Teletubby?
Bazinga!
Bazinga! Very good. A Big Bang Theory reference.
Yes,
Very
sir.
nice. You know what? Jimmy Haslam, his issues are off the field. I haven't even paid any attention to what's going on with him because the Browns have been so putrid as of late. What have they lost? 8 of 9, 9
Yes,
of 10? I've
yes.
lost track 5, 6, 7 in a row. Whatever it is, I'm more concerned about what's happening between the lines on the field with the coaching staff and that. If he has to sell the team, we already know what the contingency plan is, right? He's going to keep it in his family and just have somebody else run it. Or if he has to sell it to another owner, it's going to stay in Cleveland. It's not moving. So I'm not as concerned about Jimmy Haslam right now. I'm more concerned about what they're doing on the field and what this roster is going to look like come next year.
Kenny, here's my point, okay? When Jimmy Haslam takes over the team, I want Jimmy to be successful. When he took over the team, great energy. I think fans thought, finally, we have an owner that cares, an owner that wants to be affiliated with the community, an owner that wants to give back, an owner that wants to do this, that isn't worried about his soccer team. Then he came out and called Mike Homer a de facto owner. With all of this stuff going on, Jimmy has become a de facto owner. And my question is, would Joe Banner be held more responsible under Jimmy Haslam if Jimmy Haslam could be the true owner right now? Because I don't know that I don't know if Joe's making the right mistakes or if Joe's making right calls or what the grand scheme of things are. But I still wonder, a guy that became a billionaire as an oil guy and doing this pilot flying J stuff, it has got to drive him crazy that this team has lost all these games.
No, absolutely. Here's the thing. It's the first year for everybody. Jimmy Haslam, it's his first year as the owner. First year for Joe Banner to have this much power in making decisions. Mike Lombardi, first year, as the GM. So I think everybody kind of was grandfathered in or honeymoon, whatever term you want to use. This first year, they kind of get a mulligan. I think it all starts for real next year. They have all these draft picks, 10 draft picks. You got 2 first-rounders, a second-rounder, 2 third-rounders with the Steelers pick that you made a trade for last year. I think next year is the year where everybody's feet will be held to the fire, the coach, the GM, the president, as well as the owner, because the fans aren't going to put up with this same crap again starting next year.
Oh, Kenny.
How about David Nelson yesterday catching 2 touchdown passes after they let him go? And he comes back to haunt the Browns in game number 15 of the season with the New York Jets. I mean, isn't that just OIC to the max right there?
You're the first person I thought of when he scored the first touchdown. Because it was OIC. It's the only that – I mean, I know it happens to other teams, and it's so glaringly obvious to us when we see a former Cleveland player go play somewhere else. And the only thing that would have been different is if Josh Cribbs was healthy yesterday and would have ran back a kick. That would have been the ultimate OIC yesterday.
Or Winslow, too.
Winslow.
Here would have been the perfect way to celebrate OIC. Mark Sanchez had to come in and play one play, and remember, the Browns made the trade to allow the Jets to pick him. He hands off to Cribbs, who hands off to Kellen Winslow, and then he throws it back to Sanchez, and he hooks up with David Nelson down the field for a flea flicker touchdown. That would have been the ultimate insult.
Oh, boy.
I